Good afternoon, friends. It's Wednesday, April 22nd, and our daily reflection. I want to take you back in time. Start date Friday, April 10, 2020. For some of us, it was Good Friday. For some of us, it was community feeding at Epiphany Day. For one family, it was literally a life changer. Pat Alvestead called me that day to tell me that Carmen Stitt, a long-term member here at Shepherd of the Hills, had been taken to the UC Davis Medical Center in the ICU with a diagnosis of COVID-19. Carmen is the first person I've known to be diagnosed with COVID-19. Carmen had moved to Sacramento a couple of years ago after her husband Bill died. A couple of years before Bill died, she and the two of them had moved into Paramount House because both of them were struggling with health issues. When I first met Carmen 15 years ago, she was a vibrant but quiet woman. She always greeted me outside the front door with a warm smile and words of welcome. She was always a happy person. She was always impeccably dressed. And after all, I thought it was because it was church day. When I had the chance to visit her at her home, I discovered that her home dress code was no different from church dress code. She was just classy. But she was also a private person. I rarely got to know what she was really thinking. She would politely beg off the questions that I would ask and move the conversation to a different direction. Joan and I would frequently see Carmen and Bill at the Friday night concerts at Andrews Park during the summers. I came to learn that Carmen loved music. In fact, I think she was a member of the choir here for a long time. And she made sure that any event where Chris and his group were playing, she was going to be in attendance. Then things began to change. Her dress code relaxed slightly. She was not as sharp in remembering things as she had been. And there was an occasional slip in her privacy screening mode. And then she and Bill started missing many of those Friday night summer concerts. Carmen went through some health issues. And I remember sitting with her son while she was in surgery and learned about her secretive ways of handling things. I learned that her best friends were sharing some of the same observations. She was good at making sure that not everyone knew everything. But those friends began to realize something needed to happen. This began the long road of trying to get Carmen and Bill more than perhaps they were willing to accept. It was indeed hard to watch Carmen slip down that road of dementia, and I know it was even harder for those who knew her longer. I felt it was good news when they moved to Paramount, where they could be cared for, and I hoped they could thrive a bit. But back to Friday, Good Friday, community feeding at Epiphany, or the life-changing day for Carmen's family. Pat had learned that Carmen was now in the ICU because Carmen's daughter, Cameron, had called. Pat had given her the church number, and within minutes, Cameron and I were talking. We reminisced about Carmen, and then came the questions that I fully expected. She was facing the toughest decision that any family member ever has to make: how to deal with death. And in this case, the death of her mom. When I hung up, I thought I might get the news on Easter that Carmen had gone to join Bill and was now singing a new song, enjoying her eternal life. That didn't happen, nor on Monday, nor the rest of the week. And on Sunday, I texted Pat asking for Cameron's phone number so that I could get in touch with her. Pat gave that to me, but she also said that Carmen had been released from the ICU, that on Friday life support had been stopped, and now Carmen was in hospice care. And the family was gathered together with her, and they were playing hymns for her round the clock. I can imagine that was comforting to Carmen and to her family. It was not much longer before this wonderful child of God cashed in on her baptismal promise. Yesterday, she left this world to join the ancestors in faith in what we now call heaven. Carmen, you will be missed here. You will be deeply missed by your biological family and by those who came to know and love you. I pray that once again you are now singing, dancing, celebrating as you did for so long. Cameron shared these words with others, and I'm blessed to have read them. She wrote, "This is what COVID-19 looks like. We said goodbye to our mom while wearing face shields. We held her hands while wearing gloves. We were lucky, at least, to be with her." Indeed, they were lucky to be with her. Many others are not permitted to be with their loved ones as death comes near now at these moments. But those were hard words to hear. No one wants life to end this way, with a family gathered wearing protective gear. Saying goodbye is hard enough, but saying goodbye through plastic must really suck the life out of you. I want to say, Carmen, thank you for all that you meant to all of us. Cameron and your family, please know that you're in our prayers. We have lifted Carmen up since Easter Sunday. We'll continue to do so this Sunday, but now we'll add your family as we grieve, as you grieve, her departure from this world. One of the questions Cameron asked me was, would we be able to hold a celebration of life service? And I said, yes, absolutely. As soon as we're allowed to gather with more than a few, let's do that. So keep your ears open and keep your eyes peeled for words of a time when we will gather to celebrate the incredible life and ministry of Carmen Stitt. Just thinking about her makes me sad, but also I'm happy that she's been released from this dementia, this life-altering time when she was not really who she ever really was. Rest in peace, and God's peace protect you.